Hello, everybody. This is Kimchi Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about how to survive in this severe market for so long. Let's dive in. Bitcoin regained $109,000 level on positive macro cues as market eyes next driver. Bitcoin, Ether, and other cryptocurrencies saw gains on Thursday morning driven by increased liquidity and positive tariff news from the United States. They made a deal with Vietnam and they lowered the tariff rates from 46% to 20%, which is a good news for other countries who are waiting for this compromise. Anyway, another analyst said Bitcoin would need a sustained catalyst for a new record high price, such as clearer interest rate direction from the Federal Reserve. What if Federal Reserve lowers interest rate on July 30th? As of now, it is unlikely, but what if? Who knows? If not, from September, 2 or 3 rate cuts are expected to play out by the year end, which will pour out huge liquidity in the United States, and this in turn, same type of things will push other countries to do the same thing. Well, our profit is delayed because of tariffs, because of those ETF news, because of some other stuffs, some warfares. But here is the thing: delayed profit will be a lot more huge, a lot more bigger than you think. IMF rejected Pakistan's proposal to subsidize power for Bitcoin mining. Secretary of Power in Pakistan said that the IMF was concerned about market distortions. What kinds of distortions is IMF is talking about? By the way, IMF is a kind of some superpower country or some hero. Who are they? I mean, why are they just doing this and doing that to those countries? By the way, they refrained Argentina, El Salvador, Pakistan this time from Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin regarded as legal tender. Why is this type of thing happening all the time? Just be reminded that it's not just about money, but it's about control. Control and power. United States, which is closely, the proxy of the, IMF, World Bank, they are all proxy government of United States. United States will stack up millions of Bitcoin, as Trump mentioned. And then what's going to happen? United States will weaken local currencies like yuan, like euros, like pounds or Korean won, and even United States will weaken even US dollar. What's happening right now? They already showed this. The corporations, or huge ones, are stacking up Bitcoin, like hundreds of thousands of even tens of thousands of Bitcoins every month, every week. I mean, they're going to print their local currencies in US dollar, whether that's stable coins or CBDCs, tons of money, which means currencies will lose power, whereas Bitcoin will have attained a huge power against. That's the power game. In the middle of this power game and paradigm shift, hegemony fight, Bitcoin lies there. They will win this power game again with Bitcoin. It was back in the past, it was about gold, it was about US Treasury, but this time it's gonna be a fight about power game about Bitcoin. They won't just need Bitcoin, however, but they also need chosen altcoins as well. Why? Tokenization, aka RWA, real world assets. They desperately need public chain, such as Ethereum, Solana, ADA, AVAX, Near Protocol, things like that. And layer twos, Polygon, Arbitrum, things like that, and stablecoins and CBDCs and DeFi. Tokenization cannot run with those, you know, public chains and so forth. Everything has something to do with altcoins right here, not with Bitcoin. They need altcoins as well. Solana staking ETF opens for trade, becoming first such US crypto staking product. The vehicle from Rex Shares and Osprey Funds has selected Anchorage Digital as the exclusive custodian and staking partner. First ever Solana staking ETF was approved in the United States, but trading volume is such a low. Shame. Why? As I mentioned before, Rex Shares and Osprey Funds, they are very, very little company compared to those Wall Street giants, asset managers, BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, 21 Shares. They're a very small company, and more than 40% of those assets should be allocated outside of the United States. Just regard that you are the fund manager of a huge organization. Are you going to buy that ETF? No. If I were the money manager of a huge organization, I definitely will wait for BlackRock. So my question always has been, what if BlackRock applies for XRP Solana ETF? What if BlackRock provides Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, AVAX with staking services in ETF products? That is something that I think the huge orgs or huge companies are gonna be interested in. SEC holds Grayscale large cap fund conversion for review a day after staff approval. The SEC's commissioners are reviewing Grayscale's uplisting of a large cap fund, a letter from the agency said. The commissioners are reviewing the regulator's recent approval of the Grayscale digital large cap fund's conversion into an ETF. They okayed, SEC approved the Grayscale digital large cap fund's ETF conversion, right? But it cannot be converted into ETF, at least for the time being. What does this mean? Don't be fooled by them. Altcoin is dead. Is it true? Here's the thing. They don't tell you about this. They need time to categorize, regulate this new asset class into the traditional finance system. SEC's Esther Pierce and her team are working on it. They are making up those standards and regulations, and those they need some rules on it. They're making up their rule book, which Gary Gensler didn't do. He delayed it, and she's working on it, but this takes a lot more time than you think. For the last 10 plus years, Bitcoin was fraud, illegal, rat poison, it was black money, magic internet money. It has been ridiculed for the last 15 years. But nobody is talking about Bitcoin is fraud right now. Suddenly, all of a sudden, Larry Fink from the world's largest big asset manager, BlackRock, and Mr. Trump, SEC, and JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, they all changed their mind and attitudes on Bitcoin. This time, it's my argument, it's my guess, is that they will change their words on altcoins again. When, how, the trigger could be tariffs on other delays or Federal Reserve's rate cuts in July or in September ETF. I don't know what's going to be the trigger for all this. But what I know is the patient will reap the huge harvest in the end. Don't blame all this. Don't complain about this and that and Mr. Trump or Dogecoin founder, who was it? Elon Musk. Or don't complain about SEC, Gary Gensler. It's so meaningless. What matters the most? It's all about you, your knowledge, your faith in crypto market. Whether it wears out this whole storm or and just get the huge harvest in the end. You need patience. It takes time, but I guarantee this will be a lot bigger than you think. Thank you for listening.